they want. And so, by the way, I can't play it for you now, but there's video of ICE arresting this Virginia man in a courthouse raid right after the judge dismissed the case against him. The agents had no badges, refused to show a warrant, then put him in an unmarked van. So here's some quotes from the altercation. "Do not touch me or impede me in my lawful duty." The agent in a pink shirt who seems to be in charge can be heard saying, "That is a crime for you to do so, do you understand?" Quote, "It is highly alarming that ICE would show up to court and detain persons whose charges were dismissed without identifying themselves," said his public defender in Charlottesville, Virginia, where the man has been taken and what charges he faces have still not been disclosed. So we have never seen anything like this. By the way, guys, there's another reason why you can't do things like this, why ICE is flagrantly in violation of the law. If you have ICE agents waiting at every courthouse where there's an immigration hearing so they can mass arrest the people who show up, what does that incentivize? It incentivizes people to not show up to their immigration court hearing, right? So in a variety of different ways, they are absolutely destroying the rule of law. And if we're at the point where they are arresting judges, I mean, what do you think comes next? Where does it stop? That's the thing. It doesn't stop. It keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. Okay, let me give you guys some more. So we just learned this. ICE did not have a warrant when agents arrested Mahmoud Khalil. They did not have a warrant when they did that. So yet again, another example, the Trump regime in flagrant violation of the law. By the way, with a functioning judicial system, any one of these things would lead to a dismissal, and Mahmoud Khalil would be set free. In any competent courtroom, even with right-wing judges, they hear this, that Mahmoud Khalil's rights were insanely violated, and we'd be done here. We'd be done. But since this is now a gangster, authoritarian, fascist regime, they do whatever they want, and then the rest of us are trying to play legal catch-up. So more. The other week, we reported for you a story about a U.S. citizen who was detained for 10 days. Well, it turns out that this person is denying absolutely everything that the Department of Homeland Security is alleging. So Border Patrol said that he said he was an illegal immigrant. He says, "I never said that. I told them I was from New Mexico." So they accused him of lying. He's got learning disabilities and can't read, and they made him sign a sworn statement without even reading it to him. So yet again, flagrant, obvious, blatant violations of the law, the Constitution, his civil rights, etc. So we also have this. This was breaking from Reuters. The Trump administration moved a Venezuelan man who had worked in construction in Philadelphia to Texas for possible deportation after a federal judge had issued an order blocking his removal from Pennsylvania or the United States. So yet again, look, I don't want to hear it because I know that this is exactly what MAGA is going to do. MAGA is going to come out and say, "Oh, this Wisconsin judge who was arrested, she was violating the law." That is utter horseshit. She was upholding the law in the face of grave danger because this fascist regime is going to do retaliation and retribution and revenge because she's following the law. I mean, this video is what? I've been going for almost 7 minutes. I've already given you, 4 or 5 different examples of the regime flagrantly violating the law. They are the criminals. They are the thugs. They are the gangsters. They are the fascists. They are the ones who are ripping up rule of law and checks and balances in this country. So here you have yet another case. A judge is crystal clear. You cannot move this person out of this state, and you cannot move this person out of the United States, and they try to do both things. I got another one. This was from NBC News. After a month of searching, man learns from NBC News that the Department of Homeland Security sent his brother to El Salvador. So this is what we mean when we say they are kidnapping and human trafficking people. They are disappearing people. They are shoving them into an unmarked van, because that's literally exactly what's happening. And this family had no idea for a month where their loved one was. All right, so now we got to talk about this too. And they think this stuff is like so cutesy and funny and tee-hee-hee, look at what we're doing. We're triggering the libs. But now we have the Trump regime is selling Trump 2028 hats. That's what they're doing. Now, you know how these things work. it always starts out as ha ha he he. We're just joking around. We're just having fun. We wouldn't do that. Then they do it, and then all of MAGA turns around and gaslights you and says, like, of course he was going to do it, and he's right to do it. So there's already too much evidence that, yes, he is planning on staying in office beyond 2 terms. To defend this is completely and utterly un-American. That's what it is. All right, I got more here. So Trump just signed an executive memorandum aimed at investigating Act Blue. For those of you who don't know, Act Blue is the leading Democratic fundraising platform, and the memo directs the Attorney General to look into alleged foreign contributions made on the platform to U.S. elections. There, of course, is no evidence to suggest that this is happening in the first place. And by the way, Trump signed an order within his first month or so where he said, I'm getting rid of these multiple anti-corruption laws. One of them has to do with basically foreign bribery. So he got rid of that law. But now he's saying there might be foreign money coming into Act Blue. We got to crack down on Act Blue. It is hot as fuck out here, guys. I got to take this jacket off. Goddamn. I don't know what I was thinking wearing this thing. I don't want to have nasty ass pit stains in this shirt. But anyway, so let's be clear about what's going on here. He is trying to intimidate the Democratic Party. He is trying to destroy their small dollar fundraising apparatus, and he's not being subtle about it. Not at all. This man is one of the most corrupt politicians in world history, taking $270 million from Elon Musk, $100 million from Miriam Adelson. You got all these billionaires and multinational corporations just dumping money on him, right? And then he turns around and says, oh, these small dollar donations going to Democrats through their payment processor, Act Blue, let's crack down on them. So understand, they know this is illegal. They know this is wrong. They know that there's no there, and they literally don't give a fuck. They don't care. All right, more. I'm sure you all heard this, but Trump, he's got that coin, Trump coin. It's his crypto scam coin. And he came out and said, hey, I will host a dinner with the top 220 holders of this meme coin. So guess what? The line on his meme coin went straight up. It went up over 65% instantly. And this is yet, as somebody said on Twitter, they said, you literally could not do something more illegal if you tried. And as you all know, they basically stopped all enforcement of fraud stuff and scam stuff when it comes to crypto. As CoffeeZilla says, crime is now legal. And so that's what we're looking at here. They basically have made crime legal. And the president is personally enriching himself with his scam coin and rubbing it in everybody's face on a daily basis. I mean, guys, as I've been telling you this all the time, like whenever I'm done with a show, I already look at the news and it's like, oh, I have enough stuff for another show, right? And today, just hit after hit after hit is like, this is fascism. This is authoritarianism. This is the most corrupt thing I've ever seen in my life. And I don't know, man. The country's falling apart, and it's happening in record speed. All right, so we also have, on the issue of crypto, which, of course, Trump is, he absolutely loves. He loves to scam people with it. Americans, the FBI, an FBI report was released. Americans aged 60 and older reported losing almost $3 billion to crypto fraud last year. So in total, Americans reported being scammed out of around $9.3 billion via crypto, out of a total of $16.6 billion in total reported losses that year. So, I mean, this is what this country is now, right? Everybody's scamming everybody else. Nobody cares about, the things that we all used to consider good qualities. You're supposed to be virtuous. You're supposed to be honorable. You're supposed to have integrity. You're supposed to tell the truth. You're supposed to be empathetic and kind. Now, it's a country run by scam artists, run by fraudsters, right? That ethos has clearly taken over the country. And now, our old people are getting scammed out of billions of dollars in crypto every year because they're so naive. They think that this is a high trust society. It's not. It's a massively low trust society. And they get shook down, right? And, it's almost embarrassing in a sense because this is as stupid as those emails like, hey, I'm a Nigerian prince. If you give me this much money, I'll give you more back. And some people used to fall for that shit. Some people probably still fall for that shit. But old people are falling for this crypto nonsense, right? Billions of dollars they're losing. And a lot of these people, they need that fucking money. This is like their retirement money. we need enforcement, man. We need enforcement. This stuff needs to be made illegal, and we need massive penalties and time behind bars for people who engage in this